At the heart of Rolex's extraordinary success lies the captivating tale of a young orphan whose resilience and determination defied all odds. Stripped of his inheritance, he embarked on a journey of self-discovery. From the humble beginnings of a watchmaking business, he carved a path that revolutionized the industry, forever changing the way we view time. His legacy is a testament to the power of passion and the triumph of the human spirit. The storm raged on that fateful night, the howling winds a bitter dirge for what was lost. Enveloped in darkness, clutching the loan letter from his uncle, informing him of the sale of the family business, and leaving him with nothing, the young Hans Wilsdorf felt the full weight of despair. At only 12 years old, he had been left an orphan and stripped of the comfort, security, and future he had once known. As the winds howled with a vengeance, he wept inconsolably, overcome with grief and uncertainty about what this new path ahead might hold. But even in those darkest of hours, Hans's determined spirit was beginning to stir. A seed was planted, a resolve to rise above his circumstances and carve his own way in the world, free from reliance on others. This storm might have torn his old life asunder, but it also sparked a flame within that would drive Hans to achieve great things despite the many challenges life continued to throw his way. The cold winds of March swirled around me as I stood alone, gazing out across the barren fields that had once been my whole world. All was silent now save for the howling gusts, which seemed to moan in chorus with the grief in my heart. Just days past, a fever had swept through our village like wildfire, sparing none, not even my dear mother and father. At 12 years of age, I found myself truly alone for the first time. With few options remaining, I was reluctantly packed off to live with distant relations in the bustling city of Munich. Never before had I seen such sprawling streets and towering buildings that reached higher than the tallest trees. I felt lost among the cobbling crowds, a mere speck in the tide of humanity. Within those hollowed halls, surrounded by sons of nobility, my rough country accent and worn clothes marked me as an outsider. Their jeers and jibes followed me like a shadow, seeking to cut me down at every turn. Yet I had always found solace in books, escaping to worlds where poverty and birth meant nothing. And so I turned to my studies with fervor, immersing myself so deeply in numbers and languages that, for a time, at least, I could forget my loneliness. Slowly but surely, I clawed my way to the top of every class through sheer force of will. If these streets sought to beat me, then I would learn to speak their tongues so fluently they'd have no choice but to accept me as one of their own. This I vowed, with a resolve as strong and unbending as the steel in my soul. The years passed swiftly as I threw myself into my studies, stoking the fires of ambition that had long been kindled within my soul. As I felt the first stirrings of manhood take hold, so too did my wanderlust grow. I yearned to see what lay beyond those hallowed halls and experience the great mysteries of the world with my own two eyes. Hearing tales of Geneva's mastery of the horologist's craft, I packed my bags for Switzerland at the first opportunity, eager to learn from the finest watchmakers in Europe. It was there, surrounded daily by the intricate gears and mechanisms that told time's passage, that I felt truly alive. I had found my calling at last. Alas, my apprenticeship was cut short all too soon by duty. The Kaiser had need of strong arms, and so I reluctantly traded my tools for a rifle. Yet not even war could dull my passion, and as soon as I was released I set my sights on London, hoping to continue my studies. Fate, it seemed, had other plans in store. On the bustling streets of the capital, I serendipitously crossed paths with one Alfred Davis, a fellow countryman with eyes as full of ambition as my own. Recognizing a kindred spirit, we soon set about turning our shared dreams into reality. With but a single workshop and boundless determination, Wilsdorf and Davis Limited was born, and with it, the first threads of an empire that would stand the test of time. The years since founding our fledgling enterprise have been a whirlwind of activity, as Davis and I dedicated every fiber of our being to perfecting our craft. While our timepieces told time with precision, I knew in my heart there was more we could achieve. We had only begun to scratch the surface of our potential. It was then that fate intertwined our thread with that of master watchmaker Hermann Egler. Within his genius eyes, I glimpsed a vision of what could be. Timepieces that elevated function to fine art, which would become objects of desire as much as utility. Together, we poured countless hours into nurturing this vision, striving to push the boundaries of innovation with every new model. Our workshop buzzed with industrious activity as skilled hands worked ceaselessly to bring our designs to life. And so in 1908, the fruits of our labor was unveiled for all the world to see. The birth of a brand that would transcend mere words to become a symbol for excellence itself. Rolex, with its cadence that flowed from every tongue, was the perfect moniker to represent our quest for perfection. I gazed upon our crowning achievement, the realization of years of ambition and toil. In that moment, I felt not the thrill of victory, but the stirrings of greater dreams yet to be dreamed. This was only the beginning, but with such an auspicious start, the skies themselves seemed no limit. Our legacy had been founded. Now the true work began of building an empire that would stand the test of generations and endure until the final turn of time. As the years marched on since our founding, Rolex had steadily carved out a respected name for itself among the elite of Europe as a paragon of Swiss craftsmanship. While we had lofty ambitions, I was no fool. I knew the landscape of luxury was crowded and cutthroat. It would take more than exquisite timepieces alone to achieve global dominance. We must penetrate the public consciousness in a way that transformed Rolex into more than a brand, but a symbol of prestige, adventure, and allure. This is where my true genius lay. While others viewed marketing as a mere afterthought, I saw it as the lever by which we could pry open hearts and minds to our vision. And so I set about imbuing each new model with mythic qualities, crafting origin stories that would capture imaginations for decades. When in 1926 we unveiled the Oyster, the first waterproof wristwatch capable of vanquishing even the depths, I knew this was our siren call. Through carefully orchestrated exploits and dazzling advertisements, I positioned the Oyster not just as an innovation, but the companion for life's grand adventures. Before long, simply owning a Rolex had become a signifier of one's place among the elite few who could conquer land and sea. My masterstroke had transformed mere perception into priceless reality, elevating Rolex beyond timekeeper to an icon that would define and drive progress for a century to come. The seeds had been sown for an empire that would stand the test of time. Pioneering innovation. Within these walls, creation's spark was ever rekindled. Each breakthrough fanned fresh flames of ambition, leaving me wondering what still remained unachieved. Thus, when the Oyster's renown spread worldwide, my thoughts flew faster still. To my brilliant horologists, I posed the question that would change our craft. Could we not liberate the watch from dependence on winding? Their answer in 1931 left all in awe. The Oyster Perpetual, self-winding through internal motion. Ever we forged new standards, elevating expectations with each design. The submariner conquered waters as none other dared, while the Datejust granted instant changes without disruption. Decade upon decade confirming our mastery, never resting on past triumphs. For as long as this old heart still beat adventure's song, my vision would drive us ever onward, perfection our aim in this relentless pursuit. As the fire's glow fills this room with light, my mind travels back across the years to a young dreamer in a world not yet his own. Though darkness came, still he fought through will and wit to craft a legacy to outshine any flame. If one such as he could rise so high from low estate, what heights might you attain with passion as your guide? I bid you keep this tale close to heart on your own journey. Now go, and until next we meet, may all your moments be as timeless as the watches that keep them. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more stories of triumph over adversity.